Let's go live there and live there. Pardon me in advance for that. My goodness. Okay. Says we're live. Are we actually live? Let's find out. Let me put something here in the chat. Um, Probably should have done this part earlier. Let's copy and paste that. Copy. All right, so it says I'm live. We might be live. Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you are. Is my audio good? That is always a question. I'm testing out the noise filtering properties of this because I've got 3D printers around me, and I know that can be super annoying sometimes. Let's see here. So if this is working, if this works, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram right now at the same time. Let me see here. All right, cool. I see we have some people joining on Instagram. That's pretty cool. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wow, it's working. Let me know if the audio is like trash or something because I'm not able to monitor it right now. This is actually the first time going live in a long while. I used to do it more often, but I had some important things to take care of. So we're kind of trying to ramp it back up here. So I'm going to attempt to monitor 3 different platforms at the same time right now, as far as looking at your questions. So feel free to ask your questions about 3D printing and drones and just, that kind of genre is what we're going to be talking about because that's what we talk about here on RC with Adam. I apologize in advance for my voice and possible sniffing sounds and coughing. I am still getting over a cold thing. But I am super excited to be here with you today. I hope you're having a fantastic day. And maybe you're not, and that's okay. That's okay, but we're gonna get through this together, all right? And yeah, so this will be interesting because I myself got the sinus stuff, so my head is all ugh. Anyway, yeah, so basically what we're going to be doing right now is if you have questions about drones or 3D printing, or maybe you're interested in it, or maybe you are a beginner and you're just getting into it and you have some questions and you want some like instant, immediate live feedback, that's what this is for. So this was supposed to start at like 12 p.m., but then we had some technical difficulties. And then I had a severe case of ADAM. So so now we're like almost halfway over, but that's okay because I intend to be doing this more often. So let's see here. Like I said, I'm going to try and monitor the chat. Otherwise, we're just going to, I don't know, we're just going to go over some stuff. I'm just going to be working on some things, talking about topics that might be interesting. Um, it's kind of funny because a lot of times I'm like so worried that that I'm not going to be interesting. Um, and it's funny because I'm saying that super slowly, which is not very interesting. But the point here is that, like, man, I see on, YouTube or whatever, like the YouTube live stuff, which they show you like after the shorts, which is super annoying on the feed thing. But there's just like people doing whatever live, and I'm like, man, I could do that, right? Like if they can do that, I can do that. And more importantly, hopefully this will actually be useful to you or to somebody out there who has questions about stuff. Pardon me. There's that coughing again. Good grief. Oh my gosh. All right, so yeah. So so I had this idea I was thinking I might work on as we're just kind of hanging out here. Of so you may have seen the Octablade that I made, the 3D printed propeller hub for the Octablade. I'll go ahead and pull that up. In fact, let's go ahead and test out let me test out switching screens here. So if we go to that one, let me see here. Does that show up? Let me fix this. Let me fix that guy. There we go. Okay, yeah. So let's go back to desktop. There we go. All right, cool. So we are in Onshape right now. I'm not sure how it's going to look in the vertical format, so I apologize if that's like not showing up exactly. I'm going to try and keep everything in here. I'm going to try and keep everything in the viewer if I can. So anyway, so let's see. Let's go to you should be able to see that. And then I had the can I search on here? Octoblade. Octoblade. Oh yeah. So oh yeah, is the
It's
system
so
audio coming through as well?
Oh, this is
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
think
a
it is.
fun
Hopefully it's
one,
not too
folks.
loud.
This is gonna be
Let me
another
turn
one of
that
those
down.
projects that nobody asked for,
Check,
and
check, 1, 2.
really doesn't solve any problem, but
Um,
boy, is it a lot of fun.
yeah, there we go. Here we go. Let's do theater mode. That way you see more of that. There we go. Yeah, wow, there's me. That's crazy. Wow. Man, I have so much going on right now. It's hard for me to pay attention here. Anyway, so let's skip past all that stuff. Yeah, okay. So that was the Octoblade. That was actually the original one, not the V2. And you can kind of see the design there that I did. I designed that one in Fusion 360. And so, but so yeah, so I did 3 of a Tri-Blade, and then I did a Octoblade. And so then I thought, what if we did a monoblade? Monoblade.
I think that's ready for production run. All right, we're on PCBWay.com.
All right. I see we have a question in the YouTube chat.
CNC machining, 3D printing tab here.
And I am trying to respond.
There's this little box here where we can actually just drag and
Let's
drop
get rid of
our
that.
files.
Go past the ad. Go through, yeah.
Also very nicely packaged.
Hopefully the audio is not too loud, like the
Ooh, wow, look at this.
the desktop audio. Anyway, all right. So I see what is that name? Gamalays 35B. I think that's what it is. Or maybe it's 358. My eyesight is not what it used to be.
I don't think that they are.
Anyway, what is the issue?
Top.
Does it fit?
What is the issue?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we got too many things going on at once. Eventually I'll figure out a good way of like being able to pull this up, like pull up the chat, or maybe you can see the chat. I guess you can see the chat if you're in YouTube watching this, so that would work. But anyway, he says, "Hi, I'm working on a drone with a 30 amp ESC, the yellow ones, Radio Link F722, 4-motor brushless, 1000 kV, power hub, Maytech transmitter and receiver." FSIA6B and FSIA6. I have one issue. Wow. Okay. I don't know what the issue is. And then he says the arm. The arm? You mean like how to arm? I don't know. I'm not sure. I will say the best way that I can help you is if you are as articulate as possible. I know sometimes it's hard because if you're needing help, you're not going to know like what what it is that you need help with, and so that's why you like need help because you're like I don't know what's going on. But if you can give me as much information as possible about what your question is, so that I can help. Okay, there we go. So he says the issue is my FSIA 6 doesn't set my aux, for example, not assigning. FSIA 6 does not set. For example, not assigning. And then we got one flex FPV jumping in the chat. 30 amp what size motors? 1000 kV. 30 amp. So this sounds like some really old tech. This sounds like like the stuff that you'd get from like Amazon is like the super old school like quadcopter like packs, because if we're running a power hub, like a power distribution board is what I'm assuming. Um, so all right, so and again, I apologize. I'm trying to manage all these things at once. I may not be super on point right here, but I'll give it a shot. The so you're saying so the transmitter would I think you mean the FSI 6 or I6X for the transmitter. And then that would be the receiver, but both of those that you listed are receivers. So let's see. All right, I'm gonna set that there. All right. You'll see it on Amazon. Yeah. And then he says, "Sorry, my English is not good." That's okay. I understand. And he says I use iBus. Okay, so let me see. Okay, I have like about 18 minutes left, and then I'm trying to monitor everything else for the chats. Okay, cool. All right, looks like we got a decent amount of people on Instagram. Anyway, sorry. Let's get back to you on YouTube. Um, let's see. And my update is old, 2018 on my FSIA 6. Can't update it because I don't have the cable. All right, so let's jump into let's get back over to the desktop camera. There we go. All right, so just so that we're all on the same page here, um, let's see here. Let's go. There we go. Amazon. So we're up on Amazon. By the way, this is a really great build plate I found, the BQ Cryo Grip Pro Frostbite. I really like it a lot. So let me just grab this. Can I copy this? Can't copy it. I'm trying to pull this up so that we see what he's talking about. So 30 amp ESC, 1000 kV motor, Maytech, maybe Maytech. Let's see what comes up here. So is it like this? Is this like the thing that you have? So this is, I believe, yeah. And so you said it's a drone. Okay, four motors, right? So it'd be like, I guess, like four of these. um, oh man, wow! It's actually been like a minute since I've like done this stuff. Oh my gosh, I got to refresh my memory on all this stuff. Um, okay, cool. So he says, yeah, this is what it is. All right, so do you so you're okay? So arming it. depending on how you built it, basically arming it is not going to have to do with the motors or the ESC necessarily. What it's going to have to do with is how you've configured your flight controller in Betaflight, if that's the firmware that you're running on your flight controller. So, um, have you watched my video about arming with the FSI 6? So Flex FPV, one Flex FPV says, what receiver does he have? If he can't update, he will need a receiver that can connect to the radio. Right. Okay. So let's see here. How do I want to pull that up? So that would be all right, so let me get back here. So let's go to um arming. So I'm gonna search my channel for arming. All right, so I have, let's see here. So probably this one, probably this video right here, and then possibly this one, this video, why your transmitter won't show in Betaflight, most common fixes. That's one where I kind of cover that. And then aux switches. This might be another good one for you. So aux switches. So first of all, let's see here. Oh yeah, and so again, if you're watching this in vertical view, I apologize if things aren't like lining up. That's just how I have it right now. All right, and so okay, I'm gonna have to set that there. All right. Again, I apologize. I'm all over the place right now. There's so much going on. Anyway, okay. So my transmitter show on, yeah, all the videos, bro, every day, I swear. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. And again, we're talking about this on YouTube, just for anybody who's on Facebook or Instagram, which it looks like there is no one. It may have frozen. I'm not sure. Anyway, we're working on this on YouTube though. So yeah, so basically if your quadcopter is not arming, you kind of need to go through like all the possible connections that you would need to make. So it could be on the firmware side, like the software, like in your transmitter, or it could be in Betaflight. So let me pull up Fly Sky's website. And oh wow, they came out with a new transmitter. That's crazy. The aesthetic masterpiece of remote controllers. That is quite a claim. Let's go to products. Let's go to air. All right, cool. So, all right, so you said your transmitter shows up on Betaflight. Um, yes, and one Flex FPV is asking, is it connected in Betaflight? Well, if it shows up on Betaflight, it's going to be connected in Betaflight. Unfortunately, I don't have all the stuff like with me right now to kind of like pull that up and show you, but I do show it in the videos there. So yeah, so basically my next question would be, all right, if it's showing up in Betaflight, and so which transmitter do you have? Is it the classic FSI6X? Because that's um well, it's going to work with the receiver. And if your radio is showing up in Betaflight, then your receiver is working. Your receiver is connected to your transmitter, so you know that. So and as far as the receiver, if you have those ESCs, they have the receiver wire. They have so it's a 3-pin receiver wire. If I'm not mistaken, think you would want to take out the power wires. I'm not sure if that would have anything to do with your situation or not. I've actually never built a drone using these specific like type of components, but I think that's what it would be. All right, well, one flex FPV. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And so, game malaise. I'm gonna say game malaise. It says it works on Betaflight. The unique problem is the arm. I don't know how to fix temporarily disabled one problem like this. Oh, okay. Thank you. All right. And then yeah, it's this transmitter, the green and black one. Okay. All right. So right. So all right. So that's a good example right there of like just the most important thing just to be able to help me help you is to have like all the information like the model number and all that kind of stuff. But so like you said there, it says temporarily disabled. Oh man, I'm trying to rack my brain because it's been a minute since that problem has like come up. Um okay, so there could be a few reasons why I would say temporarily disabled in Betaflight. And if anybody else is watching this in the chat, if you can help me out, that'd be super great. Um, so like it could be that kind of the classic one is if you don't have it set to I think like 180 degrees on the arming angle or whatever it's called. If your quadcopter is not like flat and level, it won't arm. Um, what else would that be? So if it says temporarily disabled. Well, look, here's what I'm going to do because, as much as I would love to be the one guy who has all of the answers, um what I'm going to do is we'll just search here. So we'll just search. So it'd be beta flight um arming. Let's see here. What would that be? Let me pull up. Can I pull up beta flight? Let me see if I can pull up beta flight. Um, oh, where is beta flight? How do I get to beta flight now? Okay. I might need to plug in a quadcopter to actually get beta flight up. Beta flight configurator. Honestly, I have not used beta flight configurator in a long time. And actually, usually I use it on my phone as well. So beta flight, um, can I wouldn't even say beta flight. Beta flight, arming temporarily disabled. All right, so that's what I'm going to search for. Oh, let me bring this screen back up. Go to the desktop and the camera. There we go. All right. All right. So yeah. So Game says 180 degrees. I already said it. One Flex FPV says sticks can be an issue in Betaflight. Failsafe needs setting. Game says and air mode is off. I set the failsafe. I have the same issue. I don't know why. One Flex FPV says if you add battery to the quad, what does it do? Game says the mode is beep. Flight controller not communicating with the receiver. So that's what Flex FPV is suggesting, that the flight controller is not communicating with the receiver. Hmm. Hmm. Arming temporarily disabled. Anyway, so here we go. So we have arming sequence and beta flight. Let's see what the AI thing says. The arming temporarily disabled message in beta flight usually indicates that there is a safety feature preventing the drone from arming due to issues like gyro not being detected or incorrect configuration. Check your setup and ensure all components function. Blah, 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 blah. So that's pretty darn helpful a lot of times with these like search assist thingies. Because it just kind of scrubs everything and like it's helpful to kind of like think of ideas basically, like a little idea generator. All right, so throttle not at zero. That's a big one. That's like a super simple one to fix. Or it's one of those that's like so dumb that you're like, oh my gosh, this I didn't even need this. Like, this wasn't even a problem, but it kind of was a problem. Anyway, so that would be one suggestion. I'm not sure how well you can see this on the screen. Hopefully you can. Probably can't if you're watching this vertically. I'm not sure how YouTube does that. Anyway, um, so yeah, it could be the gyro. Um, so bad RX state, not providing a valid signal. I mean, if you're able to flip the arm switch and that causes and it causes it to say something, then that means your receiver is working. So anyway, throttle not at zero. Sorry. So the point there, let me actually explain what I'm talking about. So basically, if the throttle on your transmitter is just not all the way down, set to zero, then it will not arm. That's a very important safety feature. However, what is possible is that something could be like wrong with your throttle gimbal. And so if you go into Betaflight and look at the sticks, look at all of your stick positions, like your channel, I think it's channel settings menu or little tab. Um, make sure that your throttle is like all the way down to zero, because if it is not, that could be what's causing that to happen. So failsafe active. If the failsafe mode is triggered, it will prevent arming. Um, and then so the failsafe could that would typically it would just be activated by not having a connection, and then configuration errors, which is that could be anything. Um, yeah, check beep codes. Let's see. So Gameley says, mm, so it says, the motor's beep. Okay, make sure the TX and RX TX is in line. Gameley says I need to set the throttle. So, so it is the TX. Could be. He says I haven't linked the TX on my board, only the RX in my Radio Link F722 is R2. All right, we got a new person in the chat. John R says, oh, I have a valid question on is it easier to print at lower temperatures on the bed because of the glue melting and the print slips because of the glue is melting too fast. So now we're switching over to 3D printing basically. I want to try and I'm not totally sure what you mean, John R, about the whether it's easier to print at lower temperatures on the bed, like lower bed temperatures. Okay. So you're saying okay. So he's asking about doing lower bed temperatures because the print keeps slipping. So if you mean like it comes off of the build plate, no. Typically you want to have higher temperatures. Typically the hotter your build plate is within reason, it's going to adhere better unless you do have a specific build plate that's meant for cooler temperatures, like the one I showed just a second ago, the BIQU frostbite build plate, or like the Bamboo Lab Super Tack. Then I print at lower temperatures, and that stuff is super great because it's printing at 65 degrees Celsius takes so much heat, and then the fans have to run and stuff. So anyway, but what is your yes? How hot is your bed? Okay, he says 60 degrees Celsius. And what is the material? Is it like textured PEI? Oh, it's 1 o'clock. I got to go and like very soon now. Oh man, I hate to leave you hanging. Hopefully we helped you a little bit though. What I was going to check was something. I don't even remember now. Oh gosh, this is terrible. Beta light. Anyway, hopefully we got you pointed in the right direction. Um, there's a lot of different resources if you just search that. So typically the best thing to do when you're trying to find an answer, and maybe you've already done this, but like if you're getting a warning code of like temporarily arming temporarily disabled, just search that, and usually you can find um, a lot of different options there. Let's see. And so John R says he's using glue stick. So it's a magnetic build plate. Right. So it may be magnetic, but the top surface is going to be like a certain type of texture. So look that up. So that would be like you would look up well, just to get an idea, like build 3D print build plate texture, I guess. I don't know. I could have just told you, I guess, but so you could do textured PEI is like kind of the standard now. There's also like a let's just go to Bamboo Lab. Let's go to Bamboo Lab. So textured, this is a really common one. They actually Bamboo Lab. Where am I looking for? Accessories, build plates. Here we go. Build plates. So if we look at like their Super Tack, this is Super Tack Pro for some reason. I don't know. And this might be a good one too, but I just got the BQ ones because they were on sale and stuff, and because these ones said to not print with silk PLA, and I print with that a lot. Anyway, so they do a good job of showing the difference in the texture somewhere. Okay, maybe not on this one, but anywhere. Um, yeah, they kind of show the texture there. So there's different types of textures, um, and that's going to make a difference on what you're doing. Also, what you're printing. What are you printing? And it's textured magnetic. Yeah, so it's probably PEI. So these the typically the build plates are not actually magnetic. It's the magnets on um the bed, I guess you could say, on the actual bed is what sticks the build plate down. And the build plate is going to be made of some kind of spring steel that has a different kind of coating on it. And the coatings, like I'm talking about, it could be 3D effect, it could be textured, it could be smooth. Um, so, all right. So I will just say you can use glue stick. That's a good cheap option. Like Bamboo has liquid glue. I've never used that. What I've used is, oh my gosh, what's it called? It's 3D print stick. Let's see. That's not what it's called. I'm just looking. Oh, Magigoo. I use Magigoo. I've used that for a long time, but I got tired of using Magigoo, so I would personally, I would just switch to a build plate that is made to stick a lot better. Also, what kind of filament are you using? Because that's going to make a big difference too. And each filament will have like a recommended bed printing temperature. Um, yeah, and then I'll just throw this out there that I use like 3D Fuel pretty much exclusively, and it has worked really well on the cool plate on the BQ Cryo Grip cool plate. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, thanks everybody for joining me, and hopefully that will help you. Thanks everybody in the chat for helping the person that we're trying to help in the chat. I think that's fantastic. And I will see you again, hopefully actually very soon. I know I say that every time, but anyway, happy printing, happy flying. Have a fantastic day, and goodbye.